Good evening, all. It is Sunday night, and this is the first of what I hope will be many whippin' chats with my roommate.
Hello.
This is a shout out to Mrs. Coffee, who asked that we do an hour-long whippin' chat.
We're gonna try. She's sick.
Yeah, so I'm going to do my best, but if my voice gives out, we'll have to end it sooner.
Or if she starts coughing uncontrollably.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear me cough up a lung.
No.
It's not pleasant. So, we don't really have a topic for tonight. We just figured we'd play it by ear and see where the squirrels go.
Squirrels are abundant in our home.
And outside our home.
Yeah.
You can't drive down the street without seeing a squirrel.
Which means if the zombie apocalypse ever hits, we're prepared, because I've eaten a squirrel before.
You also have a zombie apocalypse survival guide.
We do. A real one, believe it or not.
I found it at a bookstore one time and decided to get it for her for Christmas, and
It actually has all these cool facts of zombie-like viruses and history and stuff. I love that book. It's awesome.
I think she's crazy. I told her, don't eat me.
I promised her I wouldn't. But I'm too old and fat to survive, so I'm getting bit early.
I'll be the one with the food storage surviving in a bunker somewhere.
Yeah.
With all my church friends. We'll have plenty to eat, and we'll be the last survivors.
And I'll probably be shot early on.
So we're both working on our diamond paintings tonight. Mine's obviously the Harry Potter one. I'm about halfway done with it.
And spider warning.
Yeah, spiders are disgusting.
This is mine.
But she keeps it covered, so I don't have
Yes.
to see it.
I only have one spider completed, and it stays covered. My clothes are dry. Well, now they won't have to listen to the dryer.
She loves hers. It's an ever moment,
Yes, it's ever moment.
and the drills aren't popping.
They
so
aren't.
she's very happy.
My last square I gave up on halfway through because I just couldn't deal with it anymore.
Mine's a round, so I don't have to deal with popping drills.
Rounds can have popping drills, they're just not as common.
Okay, well, this
After all, the minions proved that.
Very true. This one's As Neely from AliExpress, and it doesn't have popping drills. It just has a ton of trash in the drills.
I've seen worse.
You have?
Believe me, I've seen worse.
Okay.
My 5-panel horror monster one had a lot of trash.
Okay.
But I had plenty, so I didn't care. And they were good drills.
So I did my introduction. I told you a little about me, and if you've watched my channel, you've seen the craziness that has been going on the last week of the mania, squirrels, hamster wheels, 3 a.m. Yeah, craziness. And then yesterday I did the video on genealogy, but what I didn't tell any of you all is that I love to read. And so does my roommate.
Yes. We read mostly different things, but we have a few in common.
She's a Stephen King fanatic.
And Dean Koontz. And many, many independent authors on Amazon Kindle.
I love Beverly Lewis and Karen Kingsbury. But two authors we can agree on are J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter series, and Stephenie Meyer's Twilight series.
And I don't know, we both like the Hunger Games, too.
We do. We have different ideas on the Hunger Games, though.
Yeah, we do.
Again, that's the zombie apocalypse thoughts. You'd be the one out shooting the squirrels. I'd be the one in the town starving.
Yeah.
Because I'd be too afraid of the bears and the snakes.
I'd eat them, too.
So we thought maybe tonight we would discuss some of our thoughts about the differences between books and movies, because if you've seen or read the books, which a lot of people don't seem to read books anymore, it's a lost art.
It is. Books are wonderful.
They are.
And I know a lot of people are now switching to audiobooks. I can't do it. I just can't.
There's just something about the smell of a book.
I'd rather even read it on an electronic device than listen to someone else tell it to me, because I create the voices in my head, and those are the voices I want to hear.
Mackenzie, voices in your head are not a good thing.
They are when you're reading a book. It's like the characters are telling you the story.
But, if you hear the thumping, it's our neighbors. They like to blast their music. It is so annoying, especially when they like to do it at 11 o'clock at night and you have to be up for work at 8 the next morning because you work retail on a Saturday morning, and they seem to think that everybody has Saturday mornings off.
Yeah. They've been known to rattle our glasses.
Literally. Anyway, back to books. In our household...
Squirrel!
In our household, we have over 6 bookcases full of books, and I just got rid of about 50 books.
And I got rid of, about 40 or so?
Yeah.
And I still have 2 full bookcases.
Goodwill likes us. Anyway, so, which do you want to do, Mackenzie? Hunger Games, The Host?
Well, most people probably haven't heard of The Host.
Okay.
So let's give them a little facts about that.
Okay.
Oh, that was wonderful grammar. I've never read a book in my life.
Or written a paper.
Or written a paper.
Okay, The Host. The Host is written by Stephanie Meyer, and it's sci-fi, I would say.
Yeah.
About...
Her version of sci-fi, at least.
Yeah, clean sci-fi.
Yeah.
The world gets invaded by an alien species.
Not a cruel one, though.
No, it's a gentle alien species. They come to make the Earth better, and they do it in a way that nobody realizes what's happening until it's too late.
Yeah. But it is invasive, and that goes against all humanity. That goes against human... What's the word I'm trying to think of?
Instinct? Survival instinct?
Survival instinct, yeah, I guess that's what I'm thinking of.
So, the main character's name is Melanie, and she's one of the few humans who's on the run. Because she's still human.
The alien species has pretty much won.
Yeah, it's what, 1,000,000 to 1 is what they say?
I think so.
And she and her brother are on the run, and they're trying to meet up with their family. And she gets captured.
Yeah. She tries to kill herself, but it doesn't work.
She doesn't jump high enough.
She doesn't jump from high enough.
From high enough, yeah. Apparently my grammar sucks, too.
That's okay. Squirrel thoughts.
Squirrels. So... they catch her, they put the alien inside of her. It's a minimally invasive procedure. Again, gentle aliens. They don't want to harm the humans.
They don't want to harm the planet. They want to better the planet. They want to heal the damage humans have done.
So, and then they attempt to use Melanie's memories to find out where the other humans are hiding. Because... they see humans as dangerous because humans are killing them.
We destroyed our planet.
And humans are killing the aliens because they see them as a threat.
But they see humans as being threatening because their instincts are destructive.
So, let's go back to comparing the movie to the book up to this point.
In the book, in the movie, you don't really learn how few humans are left.
No.
They don't really touch on that topic.
My biggest pet peeve with the movie, throughout the whole movie, is they have what's called seekers. Seekers are the people who look for the humans. And there's this one particular seeker who's assigned to Melanie. And she's supposed to be indistinct. And she's supposed to be dressed in black. And she's supposed to be... blending into the background. In the movie...
But in the book, she stands out because of those things.
But she still blends in. She's a
little more human than the rest of them. She's a little more cruel, a little more forceful.
Yeah. But in the movie, they have all the Seekers dressed in white.
Yeah.
And she's blonde. And she's
supposed
preppy.
to have dark hair.
And she's preppy.
And this goes against the book.
It's like, no, that is completely wrong.
Yeah, that was something that irritated the crap out of both of us. It's funny how a little thing like a look can irritate you.
And we've learned about Melanie's boyfriend early on, too, and you're not supposed to learn about him until later on.
Yeah.
And you learn that they were involved physically, and you're not supposed to learn that.
I'm amazed Stephanie even wrote that.
She kept it clean.
She did, but...
They weren't involved sexually, they were just involved physically. Because Melanie was too young for him. Because it was the end of the world.
No comment.
It was the end of the world, and he didn't want to take advantage of a young girl, is what he said.
Yeah, but you know he gave in eventually.
Not until the end. Let's not spoil the ending. So, back to the book. Eventually, Melanie and her
Parasite, I guess.
Yeah, Parasite, who gets named Wanderer.
Wanda for short.
Wanda.
Sorry if you guys have actually seen the movie or read the book that we're giving such a detailed synopsis.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, super sorry for all the spoilers.
You won't have to read it now. Sorry, squirrel. The neighbors are making noise again.
I caught my mouth. I didn't say it.
Wanda and Melanie eventually venture out to find Melanie's brother and her boyfriend and the rest of Melanie's family because Wanda begins to feel sympathy for Melanie and the humans. And the Seeker is going to put herself into Melanie to find out where the humans are because Wanda's not doing a good enough job.
Because she no longer wants to.
She's become sympathetic and therefore useless.
Pretty much.
So they wander in the desert for a few days, almost die, and then Melanie's uncle finds them, and after a heated discussion among the humans that have survived, they go back to a cave.
Which was all wrong.
Right, because it was supposed to be nightfall and Jebediah was supposed to find Melanie and bring her back, and then the humans were supposed to get into the arguments.
Well, just the cave itself was wrong, too.
Yeah, the cave was supposed to be dark and purple and filled with holes.
Her cell was wrong?
She was supposed to be trapped. She was not trapped, but kept in a cell that was in a bowl shape. And
it was like a bubble in the cave.
They didn't keep her in the cell. The cave wasn't purple. It was brightly lit. It was clean,
which doesn't make sense at all.
Caves aren't clean if you've ever been in a cave. And the humans weren't as antagonistic in the movie as they were in the book.
Not nearly. I mean, they were, but they weren't. They didn't show as much of it.
In the book, they wouldn't even look at her.
Yeah.
In the movie, she was a curiosity.
Yeah.
And then there's Kyle.
Well, they didn't change him too much.
No. Kyle and Ian both.
Yeah.
They're twins, right?
I believe they were brothers. I don't know if they were twins. I think they were twins, but I'm not sure.
They're at least brothers. Kyle is violent and angry and impulsive.
But I think that was because of Jody.
I think it was just because of the invasion. period. He didn't like the fact that he'd lost his world.
Yeah. Which again is a natural human instinct.
Yes, it is. And he tries on several occasions to kill Melanie. Melanie. We're going to call her Wanda. We're going to call her Wanda.
Yeah.
Just for clarity's
Wanda's
purposes.
in charge.
Ian, on the other hand, is falling for Melanie.
He felt the same way at first, but he gets to know her.
Kyle's out on a raid.
He gets to know Wanda.
Kyle's out on a raid getting supplies while Wanda's there, and he starts to fall in love with Wanda. With Wanda, the alien. Not with Melanie.
Which look like bugs. Pretty bugs. Not creepy bugs.
Not with Melanie, who's in love with Jared. It's this horrible love square. It's not a love triangle. It's a love square. And then Jared and Ian get into a fist fight in the book.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't happen in the movie.
No, it does not.
And eventually... And then there's Walter. Walter's not in the movie at all.
He's not. And that's irritating, too, because he was nice to Wanda from almost the get-go.
Walter is an older man who lives in the caves. And he is sick. And Doc, another person in the caves, who's a doctor, doesn't know for certain what he has, but he thinks it's cancer. Now, Wanda is upset because the aliens have found a cure for cancer.
They found a cure for everything. The first thing they do when they visit a world is eradicate all their diseases. I want their medicine. I really do.
But
maybe not.
And she says something so easily curable, and he's dying from it. But eventually Walter does die, and Wanda's the one by his bedside because he thinks she's his dead wife.
Because he's hallucinating
and they give him an overdose of morphine to ease his suffering and ease his passing.
Which breaks her heart because she doesn't want to do it.
But they have no choice. And this is one of the times that Kyle tries to kill Wanda while Walter's dying. And he breaks some of her ribs. Sorry, we're jumping all over the place.
Yeah, this is us naturally, so get used to it.
Yep, if there's more whip and chats, it's going to be all over us.
We're very random.
So then Jamie gets sick. He
doesn't get sick. Well, he does, but...
He gets cut, and it seems like it's tetanus. What he gets.
It's an infection.
He gets cut on a rusty object, and it gets infected. And there's nothing they can do because the aliens have thrown out all the human medication, and the humans don't have access to the alien medication. So...
And don't trust alien medication because they don't know what it does.
And none of them trust Wanda anymore because...
None of them trust her from the beginning.
They don't trust her from the beginning.
Because they think she's going to give off their position to the Seekers.
They do, but there was something that made them not trust her even more.
I don't remember that part.
They were bringing bodies back and dissecting them, trying to figure out how to get the aliens out.
Well, they weren't even bringing bodies back. They were bringing aliens back, trying to get the aliens out so they could get the humans
They
back.
were cutting the aliens open, trying to get the bugs, parasites out, and it was killing them. And Wanda had never seen that type of bloodshed. So
she lost her mind.
She went crazy.
As a human would.
Didn't speak and didn't eat for 3 days until she found out Jamie was sick.
Whom she has come to love.
But
like her own sibling.
Like her own child.
Yeah.
But because of this, they don't trust her even more now. They think she's going to turn them in because they're killing off her
family.
Her family. So Jared's the only one who realizes that Melanie Wanda loves Jamie, and
because they know Melanie's in there and aware.
So Jared agrees to take Wanda out of the cave on the condition that she have a poison pill, and if they find out she's working for the other side, she'd bite down on it.
It's basically cyanide.
I couldn't think of the word.
I think it's cyanide.
It's poison of some sort.
Yeah.
And then Wanda, in essence, stabs herself and slams a rock into her face to get rid of all the scar tissue that she had from her fights with Kyle.
And she stabs herself to have a wound like Jamie's. Let's clear that up.
Very true, sorry. And she goes in.
You're not whipping.
What?
You're not whipping.
I'm not. I can't do two things at once.
I can.
So she goes into the hospital and she gets the medicine and she
steals them blind.
She does. She asks
for
takes water.
Like half the stuff they have.
She steals all their medicine. And then she gets out and they realize how useful she could be in getting supplies.
And that's what makes them realize she is on their side.
And they give the medicine to Jamie, and it makes him better, so he lives, which is nice.
Yay!
And then they start taking her out on raids, and they travel all over the country, stealing the aliens blind.
Yep. Or robbing them blind, I guess would be better for her.
In daylight, the humans don't have to steal in the middle of the night anymore because Wanda can go out in daylight and get supplies.
Just pick it up like she's picking it up for herself. Because, you know, their society, they don't have money or anything, so she just goes in, picks up what she needs, and walks out.
So back to differences between the books and the movies up to this point.
Yeah, I've been so focused on the book, not the movie.
Yeah, I have too.
The glowworms aren't in the book.
No, they're not. Ian takes Wanda outside, which doesn't happen.
Yeah, that was where they have their first kiss.
Yep.
Which doesn't happen.
Nope. Melanie does lose... Wanda does lose Melanie, and Jared has to kiss her to bring her back when Wanda loses her mind.
Yeah. That was during the hunger strike after she saw the bodies of her family. Not the human bodies, the alien bodies.
They were splattered all over the room. Sorry, grossness, but that's how they described it.
Yeah, pretty much. All over the walls. And that's when she kind of forcefully tells Melanie to go away, get out of her head. Because she just doesn't want to deal with anything human at that point.
She sees Melanie as the enemy now because Melanie's friends are doing that to her family.
Because they are a gentle species. They don't hurt people. They don't see invading them as being cruel. Because they're not hurting their physical form. And they don't see erasing their conscience as being a bad thing at first. Yes, we are jumping all over.
Again, if you've read it or seen it, we apologize.
Yeah. And if you haven't and you want to, we're sorry, you're going to know what happens.
But at least you have an idea now that the book is very different from the movie.
Extremely different.
So, now that they're raiding, they get to see a scene one night that is so adorable. There's two aliens on a playground, and they have a human child with them. They have chosen not to give the child up for implantation yet. The child is still himself.
They love the child as he is.
Because once they're implanted, they're like miniature adults. They have all their emotional maturity. They have no growing up to do.
Just physically.
So they realize that this child is still human and the parents are playing with it.
And they're perfectly happy that this child is human.
And they say it's hope for both our species.
Because if they don't want to implant the child, they don't have to. It's their choice.
Motherhood is the most sacred of all callings in their culture. To become a mother in the alien culture, you basically have to blow yourself up.
Yeah.
Into
You separate
a million
every cell of your being to create a new
bug.
child.
A new bug.
Yeah.
And they say it's the most painful thing ever.
But you cease to exist, so that's why it's held in such high regard, because you sacrifice yourself for your progeny.
And they say that they would never take a mother's right to choose for her child away from her. So if a mother wanted to keep her child human, she can.
Which, that was a good part. I didn't even think about that one, so good on you for bringing that up.
But that's not in the movie. They
It's
cut
not.
that out. And that's such a sweet part.
It is a sweet part.
Then, eventually Wanda realizes that she and Melanie cannot coexist.
Well, they can, but she doesn't want to do that to Melanie anymore.
They can coexist, but they can't. Because Melanie's trapped.
She wants to give Melanie her freedom.
And Wanda loves Ian. Ian loves Wanda. Jared loves Melanie. Melanie loves Jared. Again, it's the love square.
Because you got to think, there's two beings in one body, and each being is in love with a different male. They can't both be happy.
And Wanda doesn't want to hurt Melanie. But Melanie can't be happy at the same time Wanda is.
Right.
So Melanie makes a deal with Doc that he will take her out.
Wanda makes a deal with
Right,
Doc.
sorry, I'm sorry. Wanda makes a deal with Doc that he will secretly take her out and not tell the others. And he will bury her next to Walter.
Because she wants to die. She fell in love with Earth. She doesn't want to go to another planet.
And she doesn't want to take another human life.
Because she now sympathizes more with humans than she does with her own species.
So, Doc agrees to this very reluctantly. He doesn't want to lose Wanda. The humans in the cave...
Most of the humans have come to like Wanda. There's a few that don't, but...
Because, let me back up. We've skipped a very crucial part. Wanda has taught the humans how to remove the bugs from the humans. They can get their loved ones back if they're still there.
Yeah.
If the humans' memories have not been erased.
Pretty much.
So, Kyle went and got his Jodie.
That was his girlfriend.
Unfortunately, Jodie's memories weren't there as at that time. The book leaves that unknown. But
they end up putting the
alien back inside.
Yeah.
Because Jodie was nowhere to be found.
And dying because her body was failing.
They take the Seeker out because the Seeker eventually found them.
Yeah.
And that's the first one that they took out because Wanda didn't want to kill the Seeker.
They're just not cruel like that.
Wanda is still an alien at heart.
And they don't know cruelty the way humans do.
So she had showed Doc on the Seeker how to take the alien out. And Lacey, the name of the Seeker is Lacey. Of all names for an obnoxious...
petulant, childlike woman.
To be. That
was another big difference between the book and the movie. In the book, she remains, like, stubborn and obstinate and rude. Whereas in the movie, she becomes all sweetness and light and friendly. That irritated the crap out of me, too.
So at this point, pretty much all the humans trust her now because she can give them back their loved ones.
And she's been helping them for months now.
Yeah, she does chores.
She gets some supplies.
She never
helps with
stops
everything.
working. She never stops working.
No, she doesn't take a day off.
So...
No, go ahead.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I lost track of it in the middle of speaking. So.
I lost track of what I was going to say, too. Squirrel. Squirrel running across the road.
This is common here.
So, Wanda agrees with Doc that he's going to take her out and bury her next to Walter because she doesn't want to take another human life. And you think that's that. The last part of the book, before blank pages, are Wanda saying goodbye to Melanie. And Wanda saying goodbye to Doc, and Doc telling her that his real name is Eustace because his parents were cruel people. And that's the ending, you think. And for months, that's what I thought the ending was, because then there's blank pages.
Wait, you never moved on?
Not at first.
Oh, wow.
I then reread the book about 6 months later. And there's an epilogue. Wanda... How do I want to word this?
Wanda wakes up.
Yeah, Wanda wakes up in another body.
And she's not happy.
She's confused at first. She's not happy. She's confused. Because she's looking at herself.
Yeah.
She's looking at Melanie. And the reflection's wrong. Because it's not a mere reflection.
Yeah.
And suddenly she realizes she's in another body. She thought death would be black, not white. White waking up under the operating room lights. And they're asking her if she can hear them, and then she realizes it, and she's like, Eustace, you promised. And
you gave your word.
He's like, they made me break it. And they explained to her that they didn't want to lose her, but that the body she was in never woke up.
And it was dying.
They couldn't get it. The only way to save it was to put her in it. She didn't take a life, she saved one. And for Wanda, that made her realize that she could stay on Earth and be with her new family. Because to her, the humans are her family now. She doesn't fit in the alien world anymore.
She's a traitor.
But she's a happy traitor.
Yeah.
She never really fit in with the aliens anyway.
No. Because she had been to more planets than almost any of them.
She'd been to almost every planet. She'd never been there more than 9 planets, never more than one life term on a planet. And she started on the Origin,
which is the planet they came from.
So she gets to be with Ian in the end. And Melanie and Jared kick Jamie out of their room so they can be together. They don't tell him why, but
he knows. He's not stupid. He's a 13-year-old kid. He gets it.
And that's the story.
There's a little more to it than that, but we're giving you the gist of it.
You gotta read the book for the rest of the details. We can't tell you everything. We'll be here for 3 hours, not an hour.
Hopefully you read it, though.
It is a good story.
Or at the very least, watch the movie, because it gives you the same feelings.
Yeah.
They do change a lot of things, but it'll still give you the same basic feeling.
Yeah. I was really excited when I read it and saw the movie.
And I was in shock because she's not a sci-fi fan at all.
I'm not, but I love Stephanie Meyer. I love the Twilight series, so when I saw she had another book out, because you can't find a lot of clean fiction sometimes. Unless you go with Christian authors. You can't find a lot of mainstream clean fiction.
No, you can't. I don't give a crap whether or not it's clean, so...
I know you don't, but I try to keep my mind out of the gutter sometimes.
Yeah. Most of the time.
There's occasional times it strays to the gutter and dips down to the sewer.
That's human.
Yeah. My mind likes to take up residence in the sewer every so often.
Tell me about it.
Yours lives in the sewer. Down with the clowns.
Except I don't have that many fun balloons.
Okay, clowns. Mrs. Coffee, this is for you. You asked me one time why I did clowning. We did it for church. I did clowning as part of a church ministry, and it was fun. It's fun to make the kids laugh. It's fun to make a complete fool of yourself and know they don't recognize you. Kind of like YouTube.
Right.
I can make a complete idiot of myself and none of you know who I am. Well, except for the few of you who do know who I am.
Yeah.
But you're not going to laugh at me because the only ones of you who know who I am are ones I've given you my channel name.
Excuse me.
So...
I'm not bothered whatsoever by clowns.
No, you like it. Your daughter's afraid of clowns.
I know, and I don't get it, because how could I watch that movie and not be afraid of clowns? And she watches that movie and is afraid of them.
How old was she when she watched it?
Probably not that much older than I was when I watched it. About the same age. But yeah, y'all, I've been watching horror movies since I was in diapers. That was my dad's favorite genre. So it was just a constant staple in my life to sit there, watch them, and listen to my dad make fun of all the special effects they didn't get right. So from a very young age, I learned to spot the things that make it a movie as opposed to real life. So I attribute that to the fact to why I was never, afraid of movies. I never had monsters under my bed or in the closet. I've never been afraid of the dark. And I think it's kind of because I was raised with the mindset, oh, it's all fake.
Whereas I can't watch that stuff because it gives me nightmares. I hear her watching it, and it messes with my head.
Which is why I've been trying to use earbuds.
Which I appreciate. I greatly appreciate that because Jigsaw freaked me out. That was just a creepy, creepy voice.
It is. That's why I like it, though.
Final Destination, I refuse to drive behind a truck with logs anymore.
And I've watched every single one of those movies, and I'm not afraid of any of those scenarios.
And I was terrified of flying the first time I flew.
I've never been on a plane, but I'd like to try it.
The first time I flew, I watched Final Destination 1 about 6 months beforehand.
Haha.
And it was on a bus trip.
I won't go near a tanning bed, but it's not because of the movie. It's because my skin gets enough sun damage from walking back and forth to work. I don't need to age myself in a tanning bed. I'm finally starting to look my age. I don't need to make it faster.
Yeah, your hair shows it now that you got it cut.
Yeah, my hair shows it, but I have... How many wrinkles do I have?
Yeah.
Compared to most 40-something-year-olds.
Yeah, we were impulsive this weekend, and we went and got our hair cut.
I was planning on doing it anyway, so it really wasn't that big of an impulsive move for me, because I was already considering getting it done.
I was planning on it, too. I just wasn't planning on it this weekend.
Whereas I was. The only thing reason I decided not to do it is because I was going to be lazy and not leave the house any more than I had to.
And didn't you end up leaving the house every day this weekend?
Yeah, I did. It sucks. I don't like leaving my house if I don't have to go to work.
I don't like leaving the house either, and...
I don't like getting out of my jammies and going away from my diamond paintings for so long.
I just don't like putting a bra on.
That either. Hey, you're wearing one. Oh, or did that come off when your friend...
I'm not answering that.
I'm sure you are. You were too lazy to go upstairs and take it off. We've been busy.
We were watching Fringe earlier. We finally finished the series.
And if you want sci-fi, that's a show to watch. We watched it through the Netflix DVD service. Yes, we still watch DVDs.
It took us a year.
Yeah, because it's hard for us to find days off that coincide.
Yeah. And then you've got 4 episodes on a DVD. We had 1 DVD for 2 months.
You went out of town for a month.
I didn't go out of town. I just left the house.
Well.
I was still in town.
Okay, you left the house for a month.
It was Christmas time.
I know.
It was Thanksgiving and Christmas time.
Yeah, you were gone for a month out of 2.
Yeah. But
we just didn't have time.
Yeah, we were retail. What do you expect?
Yeah. Some days I'm amazed we're friends because we are 2 very different people. But as you can hear, we are like the best of friends.
We are. And she's like the best roommate.
I try to be.
She walks to work, and yesterday she left the house early to get me cold medicine. She didn't have to do that, but I didn't want to leave the house.
I wouldn't want to leave the house either if I felt as bad as you do.
And she went and got me cold medicine and tissues. And I so appreciate that. And then one of my coworkers bought me ginger ale and brought it over today.
And refused to accept payment.
Yeah. She's awesome. Stephanie, if you're watching this, I love you.
Yeah, it's cool when you find someone that you have next to nothing in common with, but you're still really good friends. You can't always find stuff to talk about, but we get along well. What?
So, I'm getting next to no work done on this. I'm talking with my hands.
And I'm getting lots done.
That's because you can multitask. I can't.
Lifetime of doing it. Yeah, she's still not bitter, cynical, and jaded yet like I am. Years of retail have hardened me.
I guess we could tell them each one retail story.
Oh, good lord. Which one would I pick?
I know one you could pick.
Okay.
Do the one with the lady, the one you were telling me about last night. The shoes exchange, the lady who offered to pay.
Huh?
The lady who offered to pay for the other lady's shoes.
Oh, okay. Alright, this one's a fun one, and this shows how bad society really is these days. It disgusts me. This is why I pray for the apocalypse. And this is where her and I differ, because she doesn't. One time I had a customer, and she was there, she was getting her kids shoes. Well, she didn't have a lot of money, so she's having her kids pick out the cheapest pairs we have. Well, there was another woman in line behind them, and she's feeling in a mood of being a good Samaritan, so she offers to whatever this woman can't afford to pay, she's going to pay the extra of. Well, and this ticked me off so bad. The woman has her kids put the shoes they picked back and pick out other pairs that they want, just because someone else is going to be helping to pay. The look on this Good Samaritan's face was of absolute shock and amazement. And you could see how badly she felt like she was being taken advantage of. Because she offered to do something nice. It was only going to be like $5. It turned into $30 that she paid towards this woman's shoes. And after this woman left, she looked at me and she's like, I'll never offer to do anything for anyone again. Because she was so upset with the way she was taken advantage of. But I see it all the time at my job. the way people take advantage of other people, and it makes me sick. It's like someone offers to do something nice, so you take advantage of it? No. That's just complete bullcrap. I did it. I didn't swear.
Thank you. Okay, my turn. My job. What can I tell you that you have not seen on Facebook of the people of Walmart?
Yeah. Especially our Walmart.
Any Walmart. I think my favorite story, and I'm gonna try and keep this as polite and modest as I can.
Good luck.
Would be the older woman who came into my store. I'm a cashier. And she was buying a care package for her grandson. And I said, "Oh, is he okay?" Just making polite conversation as I rang her stuff up. She said, "Well, he had surgery." And the next question obviously is, well, what did he have surgery on? I need to really learn to stop being so curious. Really, I do. She tells me he had surgery on his manhood.
I've heard this story before, which is why I'm already laughing.
It's like, okay. You would think she would end it there. Nope. She's saying this loud enough for everyone in line to hear. That it was curved, and that if he hadn't had surgery, he never would have been able to have sex. And that it was a good thing he wasn't circumcised. And I'm just standing there trying to keep my mouth from hanging wide open.
And if you knew how modest my roommate was, you'd understand why.
The man behind her was in shock that she was announcing this to the entire line.
Whereas it probably wouldn't shock me because the conversations I've heard on speakerphone are quite telling. It's like, we really don't need to hear that. Please, if you go into a store, either don't be on your phone or don't be on speakerphone for the love of all that is holy.
And when you get to the register, please either put your phone down or get off
or
it.
Hang up.
Because the
That
cashier
person
needs,
can't wait 30 seconds?
The cashier needs to talk to you. It's part of their job.
I get it if it's an emergency, someone's sick, and you need to stay on the line with them. Just say to the cashier, "Sorry, my whoever is sick, I can't hang up." We'll understand.
Or if you're trying to find someone in the store, we understand that.
It's just simple courtesy.
But
Takes 2 seconds.
part of our job is to greet you, talk to you, be polite to you.
And also, if someone greets you when you walk in a store, don't give them a dirty look because they interrupted your conversation. They're just doing their job. Sorry.
Get off the soapbox, Mackenzie.
I could rant on that for hours.
I know you could.
I have.
Another big thing is please do not put your money in your shirts in the summer.
Oh, God. Not the sweaty boob money.
That is so...
Or your socks. For love of God, not your socks. It stinks up our entire drawer.
And do you realize how many germs are on that?
Right? Do you want those germs next to your boobies?
Not
I
just
sure
that. Do you realize your cashier has to touch it?
A lot of people don't care about that. Why do you think we go through so much hand sanitizer?
But it's wet.
It's wet, it's slimy, sometimes it stinks.
Who wants to touch wet money that's been in your bra? Or your socks, or your underwear. I've seen people pulling out of their underwear. And I can't help but think sometimes, has this been in a stripper's butt crack when they hand me a wad of $1 bills? I have honestly almost said that to a customer. Has this been in a stripper's butt crack?
I probably have had strippers pay me in ones.
I probably have too.
Especially those people who are buying those 6, 8, or 8-inch heels.
We had a person pay us $100 in $1 bills one time.
I mean, a lot of them I can tell they're waitresses or that they're from the hair salon next door.
But I wanted to ask, is this stripper money? I had somebody tell me it was stripper money one time. And I didn't ask. Ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies.
So, did this come out of your rear end?
Or your front end.
But you know you sanitized after that customer.
Oh, yeah. And the customer behind them was just shaking their head.
And don't get me wrong. I'm not opposed to people who want to be strippers. I have a friend who raised her kids that way. I'm not against it.
Oh, no.
If it's something you want to do and you're confident with yourself, you go do it.
And you're of age.
And you're of age, yeah. You go do it. If it makes you good money and you're happy doing it, it's not hurting anybody.
Nope.
But we don't want to think about what's on the money.
Yeah. Please, don't tell us where it's been.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I didn't want anyone to think that I had anything against someone stripping for a living, just in case someone out there is one.
Or has a child who is one.
Because really, it's a profession. It makes good money.
And everybody has their own choice on what they want to do with their life. I can't make somebody do something. I can't make my roommate go to church with me. I really can't make somebody not be a stripper.
Maybe if I was 25 years younger and had a better body, I'd do it.
Okay.
The look on her face is priceless.
I don't know what to say to that. Because if I had
know.
known her as a stripper, we may not be roommates.
We wouldn't be.
Should I tell them where we met?
Go for it. I don't hide it. I'm not ashamed of it.
Oh, they already know mine. If they've seen my videos. Mackenzie and I met in the psych unit. We were both inpatient, having a difficult
from severe
time.
depression in my life.
And
I'm not ashamed of it.
And I suffer from bipolar with psychosis. So, we both were having a hard time, and we'd been admitted, and we met. And it took us, 3 years of convincing people that we could live together stably? Live together with stability.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Was it 3 years? Let's see.
It was at least 3 years.
We met in 10. We moved together in 4 years. 14.
Well, we didn't consider moving in together. I'd say we talked about it for 2 years before we did it.
I don't know. I think it was 11 when we talked about it.
Was it?
I think so,
I
because
don't
you wanted
remember.
out of your parents' house.
Yeah, I did. Oh my god.
And I
did
wanted out of
read
the group
there.
home. I wanted out of the group home.
Yeah, we
because
talked
my
about
roommate
it
was
then, but
driving
we
me
didn't
nuts.
really talk about it seriously, I don't think.
Because my roommate was driving me nuts.
It wasn't until we lived in the bad part of town that we really started talking about it, and that was a year later.
That was 12.
Yeah.
So
and we
2
moved
years.
in here in 14.
So
That's
2
why I
years.
say about 2
Okay.
years. Because we had discussed it, but it wasn't so desperate at the time. We both wanted out of that part of town.
Yeah. It's really bad when you've got, is it fireworks or gunshots?
Yeah. 4th
Or
of
the
July
4th.
was always a crapshoot, and then you'd read the papers the next day. Oh, yeah, it was gunshots.
Or I can't look out my window because I'm going to see a drug deal going down and I don't want to get shot at.
Pretty much.
Or,
I mean, we don't live in the worst city in the world. It's not even really a city. It's a town, but we have our ghetto areas.
or, hey, they arrested a prostitute outside my building last night.
Oh, that happened more than once in my building.
Mine too.
Fun, fun, fun.
We both lived in locked buildings for a reason.
Yeah.
Only in our case, in my case, the mailbox was inside.
Yeah.
The FedEx and people couldn't get inside.
Yeah, same with me. My mailbox was on the outside of my building.
Mine
So
wasn't.
I had to hope and pray if I had a package coming that it didn't get stolen off my porch, because
Nope, I would get notes
it
left
was a
on
crapshoot.
I would get notes left on the outside of my door. So I would have to sit out in the lobby for 3 hours
Yeah.
waiting for FedEx to show up.
Yep.
Maybe I
Why
should have
you
done
don't-
like Mrs. Coffee and given them my phone number.
There you go. I don't think they would have done it around here.
I don't think so.
FedEx doesn't even trust the area.
But thanks for the idea, Mrs. Coffee. If I ever live in a place where I lived in a locked building, I'll give them my phone number.
Yeah, I don't think FedEx wants anything to do with their customers around here. They don't trust them.
Not in that part of town.
And I don't know if I'd trust FedEx to have my phone number, to be honest. Some of those people seem a little skeezy.
Alright, well, my voice is starting to give out. So I'm going to end this here, but it has been so much fun with this.
I hope you enjoyed our randomness.
Please.
And just focusing on a single point of a diamond painting with no faces or hands.
The
Because
problem,
neither of us want to be on camera.
and the problem is I have to get really close to the diamond painting because my eyes suck. And even though the symbols on this diamond painting are good, I still have trouble seeing and lining up the gems properly. So, because I don't want to be on camera, it gets focused on an area that is,
Already worked.
yep,
Or partially worked.
yeah, I'm jumping all over this canvas. But that's the fun part of it, because then I don't get bored.
That's right.
Alright, well, I hope you all have a great evening and a awesome week, and next week you work, but hopefully we can do another whip and chat when you get home from work.
Hopefully.
Alright,
Or, I am off Saturday, so.
I'm not.
Oh, whoops.
So,
We'll figure it out.
alright, well, take care all, and have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.